My internet's very choppy tonight. All right, so we're apparently live. If I get choppy, let me know.
Okay.
All right.
I'll just blame you.
Blame me. All right. Well, it looks like we have 14 people.
Yikes. That means it better get
if
to
you
it.
guys can see us, will you comment over there and let us know you can see us, because we're having some internet issues.
A lot of them.
Okay, yeah, John Kilborn says hello. Gus says hi, guys.
Yep.
Yes, all right.
All right, so we got some people here. Well, guys, I'm Brian, Arrowhead Garage, working on a 67 Firebird 400 coupe. And the guy over this way to me.
That guy over there?
That way? Is it that way?
I'm Mike from Lake and Lodge Garage, and I'm working on a 67 Firebird Resto Mod convertible.
And Mike only needs like an extra 50 hours to get monetized. So you guys
11 more subscribers. 11 more. So
11 more subscribers in 15 hours.
Get your butts over there and get her done. And this guy?
Yeah. Subscribe to his channel tonight. Help him out. Push him over the edge. I mean, get him to the finish line.
Okay.
Yes. Louis is not going to join us tonight. Louis is under the weather.
Yeah, he's not doing so great. So
not the weather outside, but the weather inside.
Yeah.
The shitstorm. That's all I know.
That's what we call it. Yes.
Yep. Oh, we have someone from Hong Kong.
Nice.
Right on.
Well, it says people can see us, so it must be doing all right. So
sweet.
Yeah. All right. You seem to be in the groove.
Yep.
So tonight is open mic. Wherever you guys have questions on, we're going to do our best, the three of us, to figure out what your problem is and help you solve your problem tonight. So it's 50-50 if we can or cannot, at this point.
Yeah.
All right,
we might say something wrong.
Louis is joining us via the chat. Louis is going to be in the chat with us.
Ah. All right.
All right, let's see. Moore's Garage. Got three of you on my screen. Good to see you, Moore's Garage. Chucky says he can see three of us. Bowtie Classics. Richard Dube is there. Foster's there. Tom 63 Le Mans. Lisa's there. And Keith Holt is there.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
All right, guys, start firing those questions off. Let's get this party started.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard. Richard says no one's on my screen.
Well,
Richard, reboot your computer, buddy.
Yeah.
Not that I'm IT or anything.
Yeah, that's a typical IT answer right there.
Reboot. My car doesn't have a computer. How do I reboot it?
Yeah. Have you restarted it lately?
Yes.
The old three-finger salute.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start rambling here a little bit. But my dad went to Dayton, Ohio yesterday. Picked up some goodies, some parts. So I've got more parts in this little tiny garage that I didn't need, but I did need, or I guess you say wanted. But I needed some wheels for his car, so I got a good deal on some wheels. So they fit with a disc brake 14-inch calipers too. So the 14-inch caliper fits the 14. Sorry, disc brake fits the 14-inch wheels. Golly, I must have some brain lapse there. But I got some wheels for it now. I picked up some doors and some fenders for another project. So we did pretty good yesterday. Made a nice score. So
Nice.
Actually, let me tell you the story. They are 1969 repop fenders. I so desperately wanted some of those to see how bad they really were. They were painted silver, and then they tried to install them on the car, and they fit so crappily, they literally took them back off and repaired the original fender. So it confirms they don't fit so well. So maybe I'll hopefully have some time to do a video on something to test fit those things.
Looks like we have Billy Brew with us, and Keep It Simple Garage just joined us.
Cool.
And we have our first question, John. Gus says, I just changed out my radiator on my 67 Firebird 400. How does the clip that John mentioned on his video go? if I remember right, it's on the right side of the radiator on the bottom.
Well, there's actually two clips on the factory shroud. The left side is kind of self-explanatory. No additional pieces needed. It's actually part of the radiator the clip snaps onto. The right side is actually, it snaps over the end tank of it. It kind of hooks on kind of funny. So it's a special little clip, I guess you could say. And then you can actually put the shroud on it. But I don't think I have any. I know I have one somewhere in that parts pile over there. I'm not going to find it right now. But I'll have to find a way to send me a message. I'll send you a picture of it kind of thing. So.
All right, we got that going on.
Yep. And with the 400s, make sure you get all those extra air dams in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Force that air through that radiator. So.
Yeah. The factory really struggled keeping them cool, and they put a lot of extra pieces in to make it happen. So don't sleep on that.
And guys, we have no control over the commercials. I just checked settings for the video. I have it set at minimum. So it's YouTube. So don't be mad at us. It's all about YouTube. And they don't pay us. I think we make $2. Yeah. $2 a week is what they pay us for a live.
But they pay you. They don't pay that guy over there, this guy, nothing. So.
That's why I go and drive and buy parts for you guys and send them to you.
Okay.
We just get the pleasure of your company, Brian.
Exactly. Yeah. That's probably stretching it, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Tom63 Le Mans says, I just got a repairable bottom one for my 69. So a repairable bottom one fan shroud?
That lower feeler panel that goes between the lower valence to the core support, they aren't available aftermarket besides a crappy plastic one.
Yeah,
so
fiberglass.
To find a steel one, fiberglass. They're worth spending some energy to straighten those out. Any 1969 V8 model is supposed to have them, but right, that's it right there. Yep. So
that'd be it.
That's gold. I have two for 1969. So I guess technically 3.
Bill O'Brien in St. Louis, he does not have one for his car. And he's like, can you send me a template? So I took it after I worked the metal and got it all straight. As you can see, it's much better, more gooder. And I just sent Bill a template of all the little contours on this bad boy.
Yeah.
So he's going to try to reproduce one himself when I get in his shop.
Yeah, I have a guy, well, actually, it's not my guy, sorry. I know a guy who's reproducing those. I gave him mine off the pumpkin while I was building the car so he can make a template out of it to start stamping them. He's pretty close to, I think, production on those. So he joins in some meetings on our Firebird Fridays here, so he may be – I haven't seen him pop up yet, but I'll have to twist his arm and see where he's at. He's doing them for 67, 68, of course, and then 69 is different. So not the fiberglass ones. He's making a metal reproduction. So
really?
Yep. So he's close. Close.
I'd be happy to promote him.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. Foster says, did you ever get the car painted? No, Foster. Not quite there yet with 4 things, but we will get there. Trust me, brother. Trust me.
So John Kilborn has a question. I installed new toe boards where I cut them in. I have pinholes. Should I try to spot weld those or seam seal?
Ooh. I would say seam seal.
If we're talking pinholes, if it was an outside body panel, I'd say you need to try to weld those shut. You're going to have that come back through your bodywork. Floorboards, toe boards, I mean, I don't know, maybe even a thin coat of body filler and go over it. Trying to weld those shut isn't impossible, but I guess the question is it practical or necessary? I don't know. I guess I probably wouldn't stress too much on the floorboards. But if you could weld them, that's the best solution. But in the real world, I don't know. Some fiberglass or some all metal, fill them in and send it on its way. So
I would definitely weld them in, but I'm anal.
Seam seal. I'm all for seam seal. If they're just pinholes.
Let her eat.
So someone named Whitney says less stress. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
What's that?
Keep it simple garage says Louie. I have to ask, how's the birdcage coming out? Looking forward to seeing the lovebird all set to start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw sorry, I had the motor ready to go back in.
Hey, Terry from Alfred's Garage is here. Terry, welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Quick question on seat belts. Pretty sure Mike got some belts for the convertible to go with his seats. Have you ordered Morris belts for the convertible? That's what I got. It was the Morris belt shoulder set for the convertibles.
Nice.
It went in pretty good. The only thing that I had to got to pay a little attention to where that back bracket comes up on the inside of the convertible mount. If you don't have that on just right, it gets really close to the window, uncomfortably close. John, did you paint the front clip or did you check into powder coating it?
I haven't done anything with it yet. I actually just picked up a new subframe on, oh my gosh, I think it was Wednesday after work. It's actually sitting in my pile of parts. So it's been media blasted and it looks fantastic. So I'm thinking I still may have a powder coat. He gave me a guy that could do it here on the south side. So I'm going to give him a call and see if he can help me out now that I have one that can be powder coated.
Richard Doobie asked, Mike, have you test driven the Bird yet? And if so, how did it go? Well, I haven't yet. It's a funny story. I was ready to, and they decided it would be a good time to pave my road. So they had it all tore up, loose asphalt. I'm like, I'm not going out there. But they just finished it last week. So I'm ready to get this thing out, get it inspected, and it's done. I finished the Ram Air system, and now we're ready to go.
Mike, I don't take this personal, but you have a white ass.
Yeah, I was a little worried about throwing shit around with those tires. See asphalt all up the sides of the corners.
You got to rotate those tires real good the first time. So.
Oh shit.
So I got a question from Lisa, one of our viewers. She said that a friend of hers classic car, got stolen by a fake tow company. Apparently, the flatbed came in and scooped up this classic car. And when someone approached them and said, "What are you doing?" they said, "Oh, this car is down, and we were told to come pick it up." And it prompted me to think, okay, so how, as classic car owners, how do we combat this?
I have an idea. Mike. I don't know what that's about.
It's party time.
There's nobody here tonight.
Hey.
We're not doing that again. So I've taken to putting, because of that, you hear these horror stories, right? You know the little Apple ID tags?
Oh, yeah.
The little Apple tags?
Yeah.
Put one in your car. Hide it. Stick it under the dash. You'll know where it is.
Not a bad idea.
It's cheap. They're like $50, I think.
Yeah, we've got all of our animals, so yes.
Yeah, AirTags, that's it.
Yeah, AirTags.
Yeah, so I've just taken to hiding one in each vehicle. Now I know where it is.
Okay, then that's where my head was actually. I'm like, how do we combat this? AirTags.
Yep. AirTags. Right. Or something similar, right? I mean, there's a dozen different tracking devices nowadays, but who will finish the current car first, Brian or John? Ooh.
John will finish the car. Who said that? Who said that? Keith Holt.
Are we putting money on this? Let's put some money on it.
Keith.
Yeah.
Get a 357 Magnum.
That's how you take care of that problem.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Challenge? Did you just challenge me?
yes. Huh. I had someone looks like so they see a shiny truck in my driveway instead of the crap latch. The crap latch is out there in the street. There is a shiny truck that was long since overdue. That was kind of told I was going to get that in January, but it's not exactly January now. But it is a company truck. I've been there for a long time with it. They gave me a different job, so now I drive all over the state to diagnose and repair equipment. I'm not just stuck at our headquarters anymore. So they gave me a truck to drive, so I'm not complaining. So.
You still have the Crappalanche.
Oh yeah, I still got the Crappalanche. That thing's 336,000 miles of madness.
Nice.
It just won't die. So
I had one of those. I think it was like a 2010 or something.
yeah, mine's a 2009.
I love that thing. I would have bought another one in a minute that they hadn't stopped making them.
Oh, they made a new one. I'd be at the dealer right now, knock on the door. So please, whoever built this truck, build me one that's new from the same guy. Because I'll tell you, I've had it for over 10 years and it hasn't really disappointed me. It owes me nothing. But it is getting a little bit tired. So, but I did take it down to Kentucky 2 years ago with a trailer and hauled back that GTO with it. So
yeah,
not a worry in the world. Went all the way down there, five and a half hour drive there and back. So it did good. And cruising in style.
We got a lot of bets coming on here.
Oh
yeah, there's lots of money on John. I'll bet on John all night long. Let's see. Wilder9 says hello.
cool.
Pop says my money's on John. That's a good bet there. Keep it simple. Garage says I got my money on the good guy. You guys figure it out.
That's how you handle. That's how you handle that. So.
Let's see. He says John can find parts anywhere now for no transport costs. Yeah, that's
my dad picks them up for me. It's actually fantastic. I just say, hey, go over here and go get these for me. So.
Little forced parent labor.
Yeah, well, he has an old 78 F100. He took it over there and back. It was a big block carburetor. He's like, I got 12 miles per gallon and cruising 80 mile an hour. So I was like,
wait. You let your dad drive a Ford, John?
And it made it back. So he's had that truck for 20-some years.
So Gus has another question. On a 400, is there a way to change out the carb to pump fuel line?
Ooh.
Or do you need to remove the power steering pump?
Well, that's that Pontiac 400 factory drive system. To fish that line through there, you don't have to necessarily remove it all that, but you're taking the majority of it loose to get it fish through there. So.
Good to know.
Take it all apart. Just take it all apart.
Yep.
Yeah. So John says, what do you guys do with all the scrap metal?
Yeah.
See that Ford truck in the driveway? We have a big scrap metal dumpster at work. I cut that car up and been taking it one piece at a time. But instead of fixing the car, I'm ditching the car. So
isn't that
I have put it out by my mailbox. There's a scrapper guy will pick it up too. So
yeah, metal is one of the few things our transfer station will take free.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally just cut up the panels, throw them in the back of my truck, and take them to the dump. Send it back to Taiwan. That's probably where it all goes, Richard.
That's where it's going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, to be recycled. So
let's see. We have a new person I've never saw before. Star Crowdis.
Yep.
Thanks you for joining us. Terry says it's a pain in the rear, but it's rough. Yeah, that's for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so at my work, we have like 15 commercial dumpsters. And the wife will say, we're house cleaning, we're spring cleaning. I want this out of the house. I just put it in the back of the pickup truck, and on Monday morning, I roll in and just
bye. Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Bye. Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Cardboard. Cardboard's the other thing.
Oh,
It takes an enormous amount of cardboard to build a car.
it does. That was one of my biggest challenges. I tried to burn it in the backyard to get rid of it, and I caught the backyard on fire. So don't do that.
I
Don't.
bet the Vinyl Village frowned on that.
Yeah, and I caught the wife's the bushes or the shrubs in the backyard on fire. I really messed things up. I know. You ever hear that song? You know, we didn't start. Oh, sorry. Actually, I did start the fire, so I made a mess.
And
Gus
now
has
we
another
know knowing is half the battle. Yeah.
We're back in the 80s. Yep.
Yeah.
So Gus has another
I know
question.
us.
What setup do you guys have for sandblasting? I saw John has an outdoor setup, and I see the red box also. Looking to set something up in the garage. I have a small Eastman cabinet that I use for glass beading.
Yep.
And then if I'm doing anything larger, I go out the back door and I have one of those Harbor Freight
Pressurized ones.
pressurized ones
Yep.
that work terrible until I saw a YouTube video where you put a little vibrator on it. Just an offset motor, and it just sits there and shakes it and keeps everything moving. Since then, it's worked flawlessly. Couldn't believe it. I'll do a video.
Amazing
on that.
how that works.
Yeah.
All right, Brian. So here's the question: Is what's the deal with the painting? The temperature not right, or just the what? Humidity.
So humidity is usually about 5%, and temperature like today was 94,
Woo!
and that's the 1st of May.
Mayday.
And last summer we had like 40 days of 110 plus in a row.
Jesus. I would melt.
So as soon as you spray the paint, it dries in the air, hits the panel, and falls off.
It's powder coating. You just gotta let it sit and bake. It'll shine back up.
Oh, it'll bake. Trust me, it'll bake all right.
You
Yep.
paint in the middle of the night.
I've been in this garage in July and done my heat gun, like, temp gun, and I registered like 150 degrees in my garage in July.
Yep.
There you go.
So,
Louis says bring it up to him. He'll paint it.
in January, while y'all are freezing, I'm playing golf at 72.
Yeah. That's why you keep Pam to keep it on the front porch. I won't say why.
Right. Oh, my buddy Vinny's here. Vinny, good to see you, man.
Hey.
Let's see. Wilder9 says, what kind of machines do you fix, John?
All of them. I work for Caterpillar. That's our rental division, and I work on all the rental equipment, which is obviously Cat excavators, anything Cat construction equipment, and then JLG brand type man lifts. 185 feet in the air, take them up. I get to work on those, so I've been doing that for quite a while. But I've got to the point now where I don't have to do all the manual labor as much as just directing or mentoring or just diagnosing them. So it's basically all the construction equipment you would see at a rental place.
Cool.
Yep.
Let's see. Louis, it's not about painting the car. It's about making sure the car is perfect before I paint the car. I'm a little weird like that. I'm anal. It's weird. Crazy. Greg's here. Greg is joining us. John says pizza on the sidewalk. Yes, I have cooked an egg on the sidewalk in Phoenix, Arizona in July.
Yep.
Keith Holt says John will win if you wait till winter, Brian. It will be painted by the end of summer.
Which summer?
At night, midnight, but at night.
Rob Paloyan said, Rob says, I'd move. I'm with you, Rob. I can't do that kind of heat. Nope.
Who said that?
Rob.
Rob says he's going to bounce if he lived there. So, yeah.
Oh, Rob, but in the wintertime, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so is the snow. It's very beautiful. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I
Nice to
shovel
look at.
sunshine.
It just sucks.
Yeah,
Lots
didn't it
of
snow there
sunshine.
yesterday, Mike?
What's that?
Didn't it snow there yesterday or something like that?
No, not yesterday. It's been a couple weeks. I'm actually at the point taking snow tires off this weekend.
Wow.
It's monumentous. Monumentous.
Yes. It's a good day.
Yeah.
John Kilborn says, "Did you eat it?" No. Did not eat the egg. No.
Mm.
It only went halfway, dude.
Yeah. Gus says, "Question about front spring removal tool. 5/8 all thread. Not sure to use on the bottom. Or recommendations." John.
I used a track plate off of an excavator. I cut with a torch because that track plate's not going to give way. So, but since we all don't have that option, what did you use, Brian? Didn't you come up with something, or was that Louis?
I'm trying to look for it. I don't know where I put it.
Because you made something kind of off my design, but it was something different. So, and Louis's got a nice little fab system too, but I need him to put some pictures up.
Yeah, I have to find that. I'm not sure where I placed it at, but it was a piece of all thread. And then I took some metal pieces and just kind of made a bracket for it, and we were able to compress that bitch.
Yep. I hate springs, though.
You can find it over there, Brandon.
Yeah,
I guess something else.
So we're looking for
Something
that.
I'm so bad at remembering names, but someone learned me on something the other day. The Pontiac 8.2 differentials. You can buy a replacement spider gear system, which turns your differential into a locker. So you can get a nice locking differential without touching the ring and pinion now. So
I use these things. I've had them forever. There's a pair of these, and you put one on each side of the spring and just. But you're right. It sucks.
yeah, I just don't like springs.
It's scary as shit.
We're trying to find that spring compressor I made.
Yeah.
Does someone ever make up a wire schematic for Firebirds? Yeah, there's some pretty good commercially available ones out there that have all the original colors and all that.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't do everything, but it covers 90% of it. But like rally gauges, go fish.
The basics. The basics.
AC, it doesn't do AC either, right?
No, I don't remember doing AC, and even the convertible top switch. I don't think it does that either. So.
Keith says, "Is it bad to go to coilovers?" Well, if you ask these two guys, probably yes. If you ask me, no.
I got coilovers on this one. So. I did the QA1 coilovers on this car.
Yeah, that's what I have on this.
Yeah, it works out okay. I would definitely say keep the threads clean and anti-seize the adjustment nut.
Yeah.
It'll make your life a little easier. They will settle, and you got to adjust them at least once, and I didn't. And it was a struggle to get these to turn. So
yeah,
I didn't like the goop collecting dirt, but I should have done it. So
they also make a little plate bearing, like a little roller bearing affair.
Torrington bearing?
Like Torrington bearing. You put between the nut and the spring. That helps a lot.
I don't think mine had that. So there you go. That's it right there. Yep.
That's it right there, guys. So that's piece of all thread cut to about 24 inches and a bunch of washers and a big ass nut.
That looks like a man tiller.
And then I just cut notches to where it would fit the spring. And there it is.
Yeah. Wear a helmet and a mouth guard when you use it.
And make sure you drink lots of whiskey. Drink 3 quarts of a whiskey before doing this.
Yeah, liquid courage. Yes. Uh-huh.
So yeah, there it is. It wouldn't be redneck if we didn't try something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, check this out. Yeah.
Wait, hold my beer.
Yep. Hold my beer. Oh man, yeah, it looks scary. So.
So
Oh,
Vinny
nice.
says, Brian, that looks like the contraption they use to attach strobe lights to steel gutters. And you're right, Louis, because as a photographer, I went, wait a minute, let's combine these two worlds. And that's kind of that came from.
Mr. W asks,
Oh, boy.
where do you guys source upholstery? Brand preferences or custom is outside my budget.
Well, I've got a good answer to that if no one wants to jump on it. I can tell you my experience with the 3 leading brands, supposedly.
Okay.
Legendary being my favorite. If you want a factory style, texture, and color, they probably do the best, and the fitment's decent. PUI comes in second. Color is typically close, but sometimes a little bit off. But fitment is good. I like them. So if it was a black interior, I'd probably go PUI. A special interior color like blue, like I put in the Trans Am, I go Legendary. And then the last one, I'm going to forget the name because I absolutely loathe it. They sell it at Classic. And it's, Distinctive. Horrible stuff. Garbage. The door cards are supposed to have the clips to snap into the door. The holes aren't stamped right. The door panels are a different color blue than the seats. And then even the rear trim panels are a different color blue. Even though I bought it all from the same place, same time, one pass, they even gave me color samples. It was all different color blue. So I will never, ever use them again. So price-wise, you're going to spend more on the Legendary, but it's probably worth it if it's a special color. But again, if you're going to go black, I'd probably use the PUI stuff. It's reasonably priced for an interior kit, and it fits pretty good. So I've used the 3 that I know are the big brands that have been selling. That's kind of, I guess, my 2 cents on that topic. So.
It's good information. I used TMI, and they're more of a, it's not custom, but it's more on the higher end custom stuff. It worked really good. Everything fit fantastic. I didn't really have any issues with it. Even the dash pad went on okay.
Nice. But that's a little different style of it, isn't it? It's not the, okay.
Yeah. It sticks out a little further than a normal dash pad, but
okay.
And it's got, all the fancy stitching and all that shit.
Oh, right. But, so if you want just a little custom twist, that's the way to go. But factory stuff, that's kind of where I was at. So,
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Greg asked, I'm ready to fix my 68 deluxe steering wheel. I'm thinking of going 3M 05887, but don't have the application yet. Any ideas? Well,
you can still pump it out. You just got to mix it really good. So.
And really fast.
So this is on Amazon. And Greg, if you reach out to me on Facebook or email or whatever, shoot me a message. I'll send you a link. But this is what I use for my steering wheel. I'm almost out. But it worked for me. It's $20 maybe for a tube. But
Louis did a good segment on fixing steering wheels. Check his out.
Yep. Yeah, he did. He did have a good video.
He had a 2-part compound that he mixed up for it that worked pretty nice.
Yeah, I got to do my dad's steering wheel. It's going to need a lot. So I'll be there. I'll probably have, actually, you know what? Brian might finish his car first since I have that steering wheel to fix. It's going to be that bad.
Just send it to Louis. He'll do it.
I tried. He told me no. So
what?
Yeah. Actually, I think he said he'd trade me in for one of his ones in gooder condition. I'd go that way. So.
I just dropped off 2 with him a couple weeks ago, so he's got
what? That's why he's got so many of them. So
I had a guy at work give me a steering wheel. Hold on, let me see if I can find this.
Oh boy. Yeah, Richard asked the Parchment white. I would probably get it from Legendary. I got the Parchment white for the pumpkin. I think it might have been PUI. It worked out okay. Trying to remember now. It's been a couple years, so.
Can't find it. Thought I had it. But
boo. You need a bigger garage. So.
Can you tell my wife that?
Yeah, I just did. She watching?
No.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, Foster says good night. Foster, have a good night, man. We appreciate you. Yes, Louis' video on that steering wheel overhaul was point on. That's great video to watch.
Classic Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's check in again. We got 42 people-ish watching. If you haven't subscribed to Lake and Lodge Garage, Mike will actually, he'll give a kiss to the 1,000 subscriber. That's what he told us earlier.
On the mouth.
Yeah. He's only got like 11 more to go. So
11 to go. Yeah.
If you haven't, please help this guy out. He's going to hit that finish line. He's going to, hit that scoreboard and say, hooray, I did it. So that might be a topic sometime in the future. Why we knuckleheads did YouTube, not just, because we like being in front of the camera and entertaining people. There's probably some other reasons why. So we may have to do an episode. If anyone has any thoughts on that, let us know. So
I've been doing this, what now, 5, 6 years, 7 years?
I just had my 4-year birthday on a little message on the old YouTubes the other day on tax day. I started my channel on April 15th. So the reason I started the channel is so I could pay taxes, I think. But so far it hasn't worked out. So
the tax man taketh whenever he wants it.
I didn't even get it yet.
Poor Terry's been doing it for 10 years, he says. And can you retire on that money, Terry? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
Only people like Derek from Vice Grip Garage, those guys are able to retire. But us normal folks, we do it for the fun, for the love of this. That's definitely.
Well, it's kind of a community too, right? I mean, we meet a lot of cool people. We, share a lot of information.
This is the coolest part right here. So.
Yeah, this is it. This is what makes it cool.
Yeah. So we should probably do a whole separate episode one time on that. And of course, bring your questions to that one, ladies and gentlemen. So,
as a matter of fact, Terry and I were talking today on Facebook about saturation of how many YouTube DIY garage channels there are.
Yeah.
And it's like just.
It's highly competitive. That is for sure.
Yeah, that it is.
We got a couple of questions that we're rolling through, which is cool. Best tilt steering column, original or aftermarket? Well, I like original because that's how I'm wired. But good luck finding a good one that doesn't break the bank or it's actually worth the crap. So
right.
Wait, you have a tilt steering wheel?
I have one in this. Oh, not this car. My high school car is tilt steering wheel. So
I don't have one of my '67 Bird.
Nah, they're out there, but you're probably almost better off buying an aftermarket one. So
yeah.
And then glass. We've touched on this once before. Best place to get glass. I buy the windshields from a local glass place. Yeah. The rest of the glass I try to repurpose or refurbish the best that I can. But buying it on the internet, man, good luck.
Yeah, I did that, and I got some mixed results on it. I'm with Jonathan. If you can get it locally through a local glass supplier, do it.
Yep.
Because the shipping alone will kill you.
Yep.
So have them deal with it.
I've had fitment problems. The radius of the glass is wrong, and you end up buying another piece and shipping some more. If you deal with a local guy, he may not have that problem. If you do, you can go to him and say, "Hey, man, help me out," and he probably would. So.
Yeah. Going back to the steering column one, I didn't have a factory tilt column. And like Jonathan says, good luck trying to find that. I ended up buying a Flaming River tilt column, and it worked really nice. I'm very happy with it.
Yep. I don't disagree with that. So now, my dad hasn't said he wanted a tilt wheel yet, but I have a feeling that's probably going to happen. So then we'll have to figure that out. So.
Yeah. Your dad's a little on the tall side. I can imagine it would be important getting in and out.
It would make his life probably a little easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's that I was looking the other day that the Flaming River columns are pretty reasonably priced, except if you get a column shift.
Oh.
Then it gets really expensive. It's like crazy more. It's almost double. I don't understand it.
A column shift is rare, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as common. This car was a column shift, but I hacked that crap off and got rid of that and changed to a floor shifter. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing someone else asked about getting rid of points, the Excel 2010 kit. That's what I've used on 3 of these cars, and I have not had a failure yet. Years ago, I loved the Petronics, but that stuff, quality and a lot of complaints, has some issues with them. Supposedly they've improved the quality, but I've had zero issues out of that Excel style kit. So, and they're not horribly expensive, and you don't even have to take the distributor part to do it. Petronics, you got to pull the gear off. At least that used to be. Pull the gear off, shim it, check the height, and slap it together. The Excel kit, you could do in 15, 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, I same with me. Petronics used to be really good, especially on my Porsche side. Petronics was a thing, and then all of a sudden it just became blah. And so for the Firebird, I went with these guys.
Oh yes. Yep.
And from my app, I can control curvature and retard and spark, and I can even lock it down. So if I go to a restaurant or a hotel, I can lock it down, boom. And unless you have a tow truck, you're not taking my car. So I'm kind of digging that.
Yup. Well, let's see. We got some more here. Rear glass. The side windows. The only difference in the side glass, the rear quarter glass, is if it's coupe or convertible. But 67, 8, and 9, coupes are all the same. 67, 8, and 9. Convertible rear quarter glass is the same. Now, door glass, well, that's a different story. You got vent windows in 67, but 68 and 69 would be the same door glass. So. Ooh. Vintage Air. Did you put Vintage Air in your car, Mike? I forgot.
I did. Yes.
Was it Vintage Air brand? Okay.
Yep, it was.
Okay. I did Vintage Air on this one and the pumpkin, and I'll be doing it on my dad's car too.
Yeah. So. They make a nice little setup.
Yep. And I like that you can, once you've installed it, if you want a factory look, you really could put it all back together and use the same control, the same vents. You can modify the factory center AC vent to hook to the Vintage Air. They give you a kind of a flimsy center dash vent that I don't like. I did it on this car and regret it. The pumpkin, I retrofitted the factory center vent to work. They actually make a kit now, makes it a little bit easier. So I'll be doing the same to my dad's car. So, and it works pretty good. So.
It's funny, the one that's included with the kit, the center vent, is a flimsy piece of shit.
It is.
But they sell one that is, Vintage Air sells another one that is much better.
Oh yeah, and it looks.
And it looks a lot closer to
the factory style.
The factory style.
Yep. That's 67 and 8. 69, I don't think they did yet, but you could buy the factory AC vent and modify it. So, but I need to dig back into that. I haven't been in that for a while. So,
Keith, I don't know what the output temp is yet. I haven't tried it and outside the garage, so I will let you know.
Yep. Mine does pretty good, even though it's a convertible. And it won't freeze you out on a 90-degree day, but you're comfortable cruising at 70 mile an hour. So
right.
But I attribute to that it's a convertible. If it was a coupe, I did that in a pumpkin. My gosh, I think it would get cold and really nice down the road. So little difference in insulation between the roof and a headliner and some sound deadener versus just a little piece of vinyl. So.
John, what local PPG supplier are you getting paint from, or do you order online?
I used to use CarQuest for years. Brian likes CarQuest or likes CarQuest. Tom, fantastic paint guy, but he's gone. They got bought out, changed names. The pricing is horrible now. The PPG stuff, I've been buying it online. The clear coat stuff, 2042 stuff I like to use. The base coat, I had a guy I was buying stuff on the internet, but he can't help me anymore. So the pumpkin, I used Sherwin-Williams to get the color match. There's the only person who could match it for me. So I was mixing brands, which isn't my favorite. And when I did the Mockingbird, looks just like my car here, I used a local supplier to get the Cameo white, so a different brand. But I had leftover blue from when I built this car, the Tyrol blue. I had plenty of it. It was so good. So I used it. So the PPG stuff, as much as I love it, I don't have a great local supplier. There's somebody close to the airport told me they could get it. I'm going to look into that and find out. But so it's not a bad drive for me or John. I guess his name is John too, to go maybe check that out. So if I can get that name and number again, I'll see how the pricing is. I'll let you know. So.
I bought my paint from Summit because of Mike. So I went online to mine.
God, I hope that works.
Yeah. No hard feelings.
It worked really, really good for me. I do not regret the Summit Racing paint at all.
Yep. Yeah, because it might come out as powder coat in Arizona. So
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to spray it. It's going to dry, hit the panel, and go bloop.
Fall to the floor.
Let's see here. Keith Holt wants to know, what is the output temp on that vintage Air?
Yeah, I haven't had mine outside yet. It was like 30 degrees out when I put it in, so I don't know yet.
Let's see, what are we at here? Raymond says, you want air? Drop the top.
Well, you know, when you
That's
get
how you
old
do
like
it,
me.
Raymond.
Well, I am the kind of guy, I drop the top and I turn the AC on and I drive
Yeah.
around. So,
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
yep.
Lordy,
Because you
Lordy.
Yep. I've done it. So.
Yay. Jim MCD says, when I ordered the vintage air kit for my 77, I went through Speedway. It shipped directly from Vintage Air, but the price was $100 cheaper and only $15 shipping rather than going directly to VA.
Yeah, Vintage Air. Right.
Yeah, Vintage Air, yeah.
Yeah, I bought mine through Summit. Had a similar deal. It was cheaper to buy it through Summit, even though you fill out the order form and they contact Vintage Air, and then Vintage Air sends it to you. But somehow they had a better price on it. So it's just the game we played, getting that price right. So.
I remember in high school, I worked for a local grocery store, and I remember the manager one day talking to me. He's like, sometimes we put stuff on sale for below what we buy it for just to get people in the door. And we hope that they come in the door to buy this product that's cheaper than what we buy it for, hoping they buy more stuff. So it kind of does this thing. And I went, that's stupid, but whatever. Tom 62 says, I use Summit single stage black on my gasser and a 32 coupe, and it sprays out nice. Well, good. Tom, I'm looking forward to that experience soon.
Very cool.
Louis asks, Mike, how wide are the wheels on the 67? Well, the rear ones are 10.5 and the front are 8s.
Let me back up.
Yeah. There you go. Those make me smile. I like those.
Yes.
And Mike, do not ask us if your ass looks fat.
Yeah, well.
Does this make my butt look big? No, it's your butt.
I asked
no,
Brian
honey. No, honey. No, not at all, darling.
No.
It's not the pants.
What?
It's always the pants.
Never. The answer is the Mockingbird going to be at the Trans Am Nationals? Supposed to be. Now, that's the plan. I'm pretty confident he'll be there unless something goes sideways. So the Pumpkin, the Mockingbird, and the Trans Marado. I might bring this car again, or I may just show up. I haven't decided. So, but those two cars, the last two cars I built, should be there. So.
Any problems pulling vacuum when installing vintage air?
Oh, yeah. There's a question.
The biggest problem I had was I had a shit set of gauges from Harbor Freight that were absolute garbage. And I just fought before I finally figured out that's what was screwing me up. And I got a better set of gauges and it went in fine.
Nice. Okay. I didn't have any trouble. I've put both the Mockingbird and the Pumpkin under vacuum, and it pulled it down pretty quick and held. So,
yeah.
Now this car here, 2 years on the road, the compressor malfunctioned on it, but it was the original junkyard compressor from the junkyard engine. So I really don't know the history on it. I did pull it down. I had a problem with the seals on the compressor, but that's not vintage air. It was the vintage air kit, but I modified the LS compressor came on the truck to work with the vintage air kit. So I had to little issue there for a while, but it seems to have been resolved now. So
Yeah, I don't have the vintage air compressor either. I use the one that came with the blueprint engine.
yeah, and Vintage Air says you shouldn't do that, but it works fine. So
Yeah. It's a CVS, CSV, something like that. One of those things. It's their pump that works good. It's all the same. LED bulbs have potentially issues, or is there any way to check which way they should be installed in the dash, or just go with regular bulbs?
Regular bulbs.
You got a couple of choices there. They are now making LEDs that are not polarity sensitive. You can put in your dash. It costs a few more dollars. What I have done, though, when I built the Mockingbird, it came with LEDs, and even the guy who sold the kit, I learned him on this. I obviously hooked it up before I put the dash in the car, because 1969 dashes are a nightmare to install. So the last thing I want to do is put the dash in and realize I had a bulb burned out, polarity wrong, or a wiring problem. So I went ahead and ran the whole thing on the bench before I put it in the car. So you can do that to check polarity, or look at the circuit card for which side the ground is. Takes a little bit of time, but then you can mark the bulbs by hooking it up to a 9-volt battery even and see which way the polarity is. But the LEDs are definitely a lot brighter, and they do use less energy, and it keeps the dash cooler. I was never a big fan of LEDs until I did the Mockingbird. Now I kind of like them. So I'm still on the fence whether I'll use them again, but I don't hate them. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I used them on the tail lights and marker lights and that stuff because they're just so much brighter.
Yep.
And it crazy amount.
And I guess being seen is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. When your car sits that low, yep.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no third brake light or anything like that in the rear window. So, you know, we have a whole new generation of kids. The whole generation of kids who've never seen a car without a rear window brake light.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got a dumb story about that. Years ago, working in the automotive world, CHMSL fuse or something like I was in a service manual trying to figure out a cruise control issue, and it says inspect and then check the CHMSL. And of course, there's no acronym definition. There's no anything breakdown. I had no idea what that meant for the longest time. And then someone finally enlightened me several years later, center high mount stoplight. So if the bulb burns out, it made some cruise controls stop operating. But it didn't say check the freaking bulb on the high mount. It just says inspect the system. So I'm trying to diagnose the cruise control, and I could never figure it out. But that's all it was. The bulb was burned out. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just some piss poor engineering right there.
It was General Motors, dadgummit.
GM, good old GM.
Yep.
Has anyone tried using switchback LED bulbs for turn signals?
Don't know what that is.
I don't know which. I've never used that particular brand.
No.
But who knows?
Chucky, have a good night, man. We appreciate you stopping by. John says, Mike, what is that custom color on your 67?
Well,
It's Lake and Lodge special.
I took a little bit of time and actually I was looking for a burnt orange metallic. And I actually went through a bunch of different experimentation. There's a couple of episodes on my channel about it. But basically, I took the Summit burnt orange or bright orange metallic. I mixed a little bit of black with it, got it to roughly the tone I wanted. Then I did the gold candy over the top of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a custom blend. I've kept the recipe just in case. But yeah, I was going for something that they didn't quite have, and I didn't really want to fool around with it. So I tried a bunch of different combinations of base layers and candies and all kinds of stuff. And I kind of went through it because there wasn't a lot of information on that.
Custom paint.
Yeah.
So
just give me off the shelf. All right. So do we have trivia for tonight?
I didn't come up with anything.
Keith asks, Mike, did you have to wait till summer to paint? Not really. I kind of set up this little side bay here as a paint booth, and I was able to, if I had a couple electric heaters in there and, really managed my temperature well, I was able to paint pretty much all year long.
Yep. As long as you got that metal 60 degrees or warmer, you're fine.
Yep.
You're fine.
And that's an excellent point.
Yeah.
Check the metal. Don't give a shit about what the temperature is in the room.
Right.
Take a laser and check the metal. That's all that matters.
Yep. The surface temperature, whether the surface is you're ready to paint, make sure it's up to temp. So.
Yep.
And you ask why? Well, the paint don't flow worth crap.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. You would not just get burnt orange, you get burnt orange peel. So, yeah.
But they got, that's the other nice thing about Summit. They got the full range of temperatures for the activator, and they got temperatures for reducers if you need it.
Yep.
All that stuff. So I was pretty happy with them.
Slow.
Slow.
Oh, I thought Brian was talking about himself again.
Slow.
Did you have to get super slow?
I tried. I said, look, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. It's 115 effing degrees out, and humidity is 5%. And they went, good job, good luck.
Yeah. Must suck to be you, right?
Yeah, sucks to be you, buddy, but buy our paint.
Oh boy. Yeah.
All right, so here's tonight's trivia question.
Okay.
What makes the 68 Firebird unique amongst the other three first-gen cars, the other two first-gen cars? So why is the 68 unique? What does it have that no other car has?
Wow. A title that says 1968.
John, you're not allowed to answer. John, it's like when I used to work on radio, we were told that we were not allowed to enter any contest from any other radio station within our market. And
You
so
used to
we
work
never
in
win
radio?
anything.
You used to work in radio? That explains
Yes.
a lot.
I did. I spent 7, 8 years in radio.
Hey, since Louis is not on here, is he allowed to answer?
He's allowed. No, he can. No, Louis. No, Louis.
You got
Louis has
answers
been
rolling in, so you better scroll through them and find it. Because I don't know the answer. I have some
do.
ideas, but I don't
I
know.
know what it is.
Louis.
Jonathan, I got a question for you.
Oh,
The 67s have no side markers.
correct.
But it seems like all models from 68 onward have side markers. Was that
Because
like
it
a
became
government
law.
thing?
It became law. Yes, you had to have
okay.
side markers in 1968. And in 69, they followed suit. And that was what Pontiac, I think the Firebird, I love the 1969 rear Firebirds that light up. Pontiac was onto something, not just put a boring square bulb. Sorry, Camaro owners. They wanted to do some styling, right? Come 1970, they said, well, not only do we want a light bulb, we want a reflective material in it too. So that's why they got ugly. They lost that ability to make side markers that were cool looking and interesting. But yeah, it became law, safety standards, visibility, a side marker. And then I think 1970, it had to be partially reflective. So by the time you try to make it partially reflective and cool, forget about it. They all want boring rectangular or square side markers.
Yep. Good to know. I've always wondered that because, like, honestly, I was like, there's no side markers on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to get cleaned out.
Right. That was just visibility. They changed the laws. So
Yeah. Okay.
Regulations.
Have you seen the answer yet, Brian?
Yes, I had lots of people give me answers, and I think Greg was probably the first person to answer it.
And what did he say?
Corner lights.
Corner lights.
Yep. Because remember, 67s are like this, 68s are like this.
Around the sides, yeah. The
lower valence, the wraparound side marker lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, 68 was the only year that had the first gen birds on the windows too.
Yep, the etched glass.
Yep.
I saw that one pop up.
Yep.
Wing down.
And wasn't 68 the only year to have the Pontiac logo in the rear quarter?
The Arrowhead, yes.
The Arrowhead.
Yep.
Yeah, the Arrowhead now, unless you're talking about Firebirds, yes. Now GTO and Le Mans, nope. So, 68 GTO had them and 69 Le Mans had them. So. We're a Firebird family, so we don't talk about GTOs. So.
Those are too cool.
Yeah, we're talking about birds, no goats, right? Wrong kind of petting zoo.
Keep It Simple Garage says, take it easy on the Camaro. We love Camaros.
I didn't say wrong. I'm just saying they have square or rectangular side markers. They didn't make
they keep our parts cheaper.
They do.
Yeah. There you go. Respect the bird.
Yeah.
Respect the
I'll
bird.
give you the bird.
So Julian says, I'm installing the rockers on my 67. We can't remove the subframe. Do you guys have any tips? I just can't seem to install them because of some bracing in the way. What do you think, John?
Actually, I think I answered this question sort of, but I can't imagine what's in the way because the subframe is, a third of the way into the floor pan. So I don't know what's interfering. Unless he's talking about a convertible and you have those little braces in the front corners. So I guess a picture is worth 1,000 words in this situation, I suppose. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd try to replace the rockers without removing the subframe.
Yeah, I've done floor pans without doing the subframe.
Yeah.
But
it's 4 bolts and.
Yeah, the rockers seem like you'd get some twists there.
Yeah. Was
there ever a Yanko or Copo Firebird? I do not believe there was, but Jonathan would know.
No, nothing like that. Because I'm not a Camaro expert by any stretch, but I know the Copo thing was a factory built kind of race car. Now Yanko, I thought that went to somebody else aftermarket, and he kind of did their own thing too.
Yanko was a dealer. He was actually a dealership, and he would custom order his Camaro, but he was a Chevy dealer.
Right, but he was not off the factory somehow. He added that stuff to it. So
right.
Now Copo, it was a factory kind of a race car. The closest Firebird ever got to that would be like a Ram Air 4 kind of a thing. Then they were working on the Trans Am Series 303 Ram Air 5. But the unfortunate thing is that the General Motors ban on racing tanked that whole ordeal. So nothing quite that cool. I mean, the coolest thing you got was the Ram Air stuff. Well, Ram Air 2, 3, and 4, and then the Trans Ams. So
we got a question from Little Louie in Pennsylvania.
Little Louie,
did they ever make a first-gen Firebird with rear disc brakes?
Ooh,
first gen. No, not first gen. So that didn't come about. I think the first rear disc brake car was. Oh man, I need some second gen people to jump on the bandwagon here. I want to say 77 or 78. So.
Really?
Yep.
So Tom 63 Le Mans says, were there ever any Royal Bobcat Firebirds? I'm not familiar with them.
I'm aware of.
So I don't know what that is.
Yeah, Royal Bobcat. They did a lot of GTO stuff. That'd be like 65, 66 maybe. I don't think they ever did a Firebird, but I don't know that for sure. I've never seen any of the books that I've read. That mean they didn't. That mean they did either, but I can't say for sure. So.
Sweet. All right. Well, do you guys have any more questions? We're about at that 1 hour mark. I know, we all have lives and wives and children and grandchildren and yada, 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 yada.
This is fun. We got all kinds of people saying it's a shame it's all coming to an end. But I actually did pretty good tonight. Hey, Mike, what's your subscriber count before we bounce out of here?
Hold on.
Did they do it? Did they do what we told them to do?
Come on, you guys.
I got picked up 3. We're at 991.
Okay,
Guys.
all right.
9 more?
Yep.
9 to
Somebody.
go. 9 to go.
There's 45 people watching right now. If you 45 folks will go to Mike's YouTube channel and subscribe,
Oh,
he's gonna get
unsubscribe,
us
resubscribe.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna work either, John.
I think most of them are already subscribed.
Not how it
Yeah.
works. So Lincoln Lodge Garage, go help Mike out. Let's get him over that hump. We got Louie over the hump.
Yeah.
We can get Mike over the hump.
All right, so everybody needs to check in and say they've been subscribed or not. So they can't say goodbye until they say they're subscribed.
Right.
So.
We're not signing off until you subscribe to Mike's channel.
But
We're holding you ransom. So
Don't be
holding you
a
hostage. Sorry.
But seriously, guys, we all thank you, all of us, for your participation and support in this thing. We all do it for different reasons. Ain't nobody does it for the money.
No.
But,
No.
I
No.
started out doing this to mostly just keep my dad informed of my project, and
Yes.
that's kind of how it started for me.
Yep.
That was like me. When I picked up my bird in Oklahoma, I started doing weekly videos just to show the family what I was doing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it just like click, 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 click.
I same thing, kind of document what I've done. So when I'm old and senile in the nursing home, and I can say, hey, hot little nurse, that's me several years ago. This is what I used to do. Right. That's me. So
You see that? You see that man right on the TV? That there is me.
Yeah.
And if you ever sell the car, it's a hell of a selling point,
It's
right? I mean,
video
everybody can see
documented.
exactly what's there.
It's video documented. So
Yeah.
And I have to admit, so when I started my channel, I bought a 2001 Porsche Boxster S with a blown motor. And I pulled the motor out. I put a used motor in. I did everything I could to make the car drivable. And because of that, when I went to sell it, I simply said, go watch these videos and you will see what's been done to the car. You will see that what I'm asking, the price for it is right because it has all the other. And I was amazed at how many people were like,
yeah.
So again,
Makes it. There's no blind items in that thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's no Facebook rebuilds. It's it's the real deal.
Yeah, I did a 68 Firebird before I did the whole overhauls. I just did the floor pan, got the convertible top working, polished the paint. I called it Project LeBron's. And I got the car operational from being a not so great car. Put it for sale, and the stupid thing wouldn't start the day the guy came to get it. But he didn't even beat me up on the price because I watched the whole build on YouTube. It's worth everything you're asking for and then some. So he took it non-running because he saw it drive around the block with Whitney in the front seat with no seats. So he's around the block, So he goes, I know it runs and shifts. He goes, it's just the carburetor is being fickle. I got someone who can fix it. So he gave me the asking price because of the videos.
Yep. It's real. That's a good upside to it.
Yep.
Mike, check your subscribers. Let's see where you're at.
Okay, hold on. Refreshing. 994.
Oh,
6 away.
Come
Maybe
on,
I'll
guys.
get
6 more. We're 6 more people. Come on.
Oh boy.
yeah.
So Kevin says, Brian, your video on the HEI install was excellent. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Cool.
Oh, Tom just subscribed to you, Mike.
Yeah, I see that.
Very
John
cool.
says, would like to see what equipment y'all are using to film yourselves and edit.
Just
iPhone.
John, asking you shall receive.
It's an iPhone 11 billion. I think is where we're at. So
yeah, that's where I'm at. I also, without this, I suck.
Yeah, the microphone stuff.
Yeah, I really, really struggled with audio quality for a long time until I got that.
A little lapel mic goes a long way.
Yep.
This one right here, this is what I use.
Oh,
You
John.
plug one in into the phone and this one here, and
Whitney
you're off
says
and running the race,
she's
boys.
food. There's going to be somebody rolling up any minute.
Ah, dang it. Hey, Whitney, did you just subscribe to Mike's channel? We got to get him over the edge here. We got to get before the night's up. We got to get him over there.
Put an all-electric motor and drivetrain in. Oh, Scott.
Scott, Whitney, don't read that message. Whitney, do not read the next message. She's been trying to get me to do it for a while.
Don't do it, John. Don't do it. What's this?
There is this niche market out there where people are gagging for classic cars with electric drives.
Man, I work on AC drive stuff on this equipment, so it's not a stretch of imagination.
It's not that hard. I actually was on a solar car racing team in college, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
All right.
Looks like you
Mike
might
needs
get bumped up a few more subscribers. So
4 more subscribers, guys. We need 4 more people. Come on.
No
I feel like Jerry Lewis on a telethon. Come on, let's get the numbers up.
We need one to go. 999.
Whoa! Hey, we did it.
One more, guys. One more.
Who's Mr. 1000 or Mrs. 1000, right?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. 1000. Who's going to be the lucky one?
I could probably get my wife to subscribe now.
She doesn't.
What? No, Mike. No.
That's how the kiss is going to go. You're going to kiss your wife?
Say, here's your chance. You can be number 1000.
Yeah, well, the prize was he's going to give someone a kiss. Someone just asked, but, whatever. I might unsubscribe to resubscribe, then I can be number 1000. So
there you go, John. All right, where are we at, John? Where are we at, Mike?
1000.
Hey!
Right there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Whitney subscribed. She says she's 1000.
There you go.
Whitney,
Nice job,
you can't win,
I'm not
Whitney.
gonna get your wife, John.
Whitney. Awesome. Hey.
One more question here, Jim. Anybody have experience with the Flesher flush mount windshields?
Oh,
I got a pair for the 77.
Ooh.
I haven't done it yet, but I understand you got to trim the glass a little bit to get those to fit or something like that, because we know these things aren't precision built, so they're always just a little bit out of whack. So I've not done any of those yet. I've seen some stuff on them, but I haven't done them yet.
Oh.
Apparently your wife has bad experiences with windshields.
Yeah, we did the one on this car. We're not supposed to talk about it. So
that's a taboo subject.
Yeah.
It's a sore point.
All right.
Yeah.
So boys, I think we've had a fabulous night tonight.
Oh yeah. Yep. Very good night.
Poor Louis was under the weather, which is okay. He joined us in the chat.
Yeah.
Or that way, I don't know which way the chat goes.
Somewhere over yonder. So.
But all right, so next week, I think we have some special stuff planned.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait till next Friday.
Great.
Awesome.
Yes, you
will. Ice cubes, bananas, and a Speedo.
Something about a squirt bottle. Wait, cats, get off the counter, cats. All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a great weekend. Keep wrenching on your birds or your Pontiacs, and we will see you next Friday for another episode of this crazy crap we do.
That sounds great. Okay.
All
right, guys.
See you all later.
Later.
I think we hit 60.